Alright, so welcome back to the Brickafit channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at this. Yes, that's my new sig fig now. Hope you like it. Dr. Bricker Pan, as always, and a camera. So, yeah, anyway.
I want a Bricker Fig. What'd you call it?
Sig fig.
Sig Fig.
Yeah, signature fig, I believe is what it stands for. Anyway, let's get into this topic of the video, because if we delay too long, people are going to start clicking off and then audience retention goes down. And yeah, that's not a good thing.
So if you're thinking of clicking off, subscribe.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you can click off.
And then you can click off.
Yeah, guilt-free.
Guilt-free? Yeah. Alright, so Sherman Jumbo World War II Heavy Assault Tank. This is what we're looking at. A beautiful tank. Alright, rating system acquired. We're going to apply this to this build. And yeah, so let's hop into the history. Alright, so this is the Sherman Jumbo Tank. Now there is a lot of additions to this, so we'll go over that in a second when we get to the price category, because there's like brick arms, there's Brickmania custom elements, there's stickers, you know, so we'll go over all that. But first, history.
Young Joshua, you are looking at one of the most famous tanks in American history.
Whoa.
An iconic tank, even.
Seriously?
You're looking at the famous Cobra King, which, as your student listeners or video watchers have probably already noticed, has this insignia on the side that they painted on, which says First in Bastogne. And that probably pretty much says it all. This is a Brickmania. We got the plans off of Brickmania. It's available electronically. They'll send you an XML file. And for about $100 or so in parts, you can have this very tank for your own.
Does that include the sticker pack, the brick arms, and all that? All of that?
Maybe not the track links.
The track links, this thing that was $6, that up there, which is probably $1 or $7
or so. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And it originally sold for $295 way back when it came out. It's a Cody Ozell.
That's actually a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
In terms of Brickmania stuff.
Cody went above and beyond the call of creativity and authenticity on his build, and we'll get into that in a minute. But a little bit about the Cobra King. This was assigned to Patton's 4th Armored Division, and it was the first tank to break through the German lines surrounding Bastogne at the Battle of the Bulge. And of course that marked a big turning point in the battle, and that date was December 26, 1944. So it was huge. Apparently in the attack, the Cobra King was way ahead of all the other tanks, because the jumbo tank had additional armor and was bigger and had a bigger gun, and it was designed as an assault tank, which set it apart from the just the average run-of-the-mill M4 Sherman tank. These tanks were designed to basically run point on any armored assault, and as a result they had heavy losses, but that's only because they were bearing the brunt of the fighting. Anyway, as per usual, the Jumbo was out front, and came across a group of American engineers, or at least what looked like American engineers, and being a little wary of the fact that some Germans had infiltrated the American lines and were posing as American engineers, there was some give and take, and lo and behold, Bastogne was relieved. Interestingly, the Cobra King got knocked out of action later in a raid on the German prison camp near Hammelburg, Germany. Hammelburg.
Okay, Hammelburg.
And supposedly it was to liberate American prisoners of war. The real reason was that Patton's son-in-law was there, and Patton wanted to get his son-in-law out. His son-in-law had been taken prisoner in Tunisia in 1943. The raid was a failure, but the Cobra King got knocked out of action. And anyway, it finally, after a rather torturous history, made its way back to the United States.
Torturous history?
Yeah, it was used as a monument tank. It appeared at various German bases, American German bases and whatnot, and nobody was quite sure it was really the Cobra King. Anyway, the Patton Museum deduced that this was the actual Cobra King. They brought it back to the United States. They restored it, and young Joshua, you can see it today at Fort Benning, Georgia, where it's been restored and it's on display. Had a crew of 5, a commander, driver, co-driver, gunner, and loader. Had a V8 engine. It could go 22 miles an hour.
That's pretty fast for a tank.
Well, it was slower than the Sherman because of all the extra added weight.
Tank.
Could go 100 miles without a fill up. It had 2 machine guns, an HB-M2 machine gun, which is represented here by a Brick Arms, can't remember, ball joint or something or other. Well, when it comes around, it's in the front. And of course, on top, the, again, iconic M1919 A4 machine gun. And there's the sticker sheet provides all kinds of stickers for the star coming around, the serial number, and also coming around on the front, some crates and a 30 cal ammo can in the back. So
wow,
that's pretty much a history. There were only 254 of these built. They were built specifically for the invasion of Europe, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
7 minutes we're at now.
Yeah, that's a lot of history.
Yeah.
But it's an iconic, but look, coming into view now, it says first in Bastogne, and they actually wrote over the serial number and the Cobra King, which they had lovingly named this tank. So there you have it. And you've got, is that the D-Day Battle Pack, the
yes.
minifigs?
Squad Part 1, I believe.
Yeah.
From the Saving Private Ryan movie.
Yeah.
All right, so that was the history.
It was. It was a good history. There's a lot of tank in that tank. That's what I'm saying. So we're now going to get into the meat of this review and actually do the review.
Yes.
Is that what's coming up next?
7 minutes in, yes.
7 minutes in. Well, this is a special tank. First in Bastogne.
Yeah.
There's only one tank that could ever say that in the history of the world. I mean, others can say it, but they'd be lying tanks if they did.
Not necessarily because of what they were the first tank in Bastogne before that. Anyway, let's get into the review. So the build. We'll talk about the build. I did not personally build this, but Dave did. So
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I had a good time. There were a few parts.
Good. That's good.
There were a few times when I kind of wanted to scream. There are a lot of small parts in this tank. It seemed to me more small parts than usual, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but sometimes
it's a bad thing, Lando. No, I'm kidding.
Sometimes when you're building with small parts, at least for me, until you get the entire segment that you're working on built, it can fall apart in your hands, and I had that problem a few times. But that's probably at least half due to my clumsiness. But once I got it built, it actually fit together pretty solidly.
Packs a lot of features in this.
Yeah, it does have a lot of features. So why don't we get into the features? Yeah.
We got a swivelability.
Is that like rockabilly, like Jerry Lee Lewis and
360?
360
on that. Ball joint goes up and down. This thing can come up and down. I don't know why you'd want to do that. This thing, the M2HB up there,
that would be an M1919, my young Padawan.
Well, excuse me. Alright, but this one just didn't really put on there nicely. I don't know how they could have done it differently, but that one, it just always breaks off when I try to swivel it. But doesn't break, but, you know, goes off. But the other things are really good.
It's an odd placement for the gun, but in looking at period photos of the tanks, that's where they were mounted.
Photos.
Well, I mean, yeah.
All right. So anyway, the one thing that I will say that's, you know.
Oh no, it's unforgivable.
It's not unforgivable, but it was like kind of an attention to detail that's just severely overlooked.
Where's that sledgehammer?
It's the blue in the turret right there. I don't know if you can see it. You probably
can. Gun?
Yeah.
Cody, I'm sure I put it on right, but that little blue shining through there just really, shall I say, triggers.
You know, man, it ticks me.
It ticks you?
Yeah, it ticks me. So I will quickly fix that, but yeah.
How are you gonna fix that?
I'll switch the piece.
For a gray one?
Yeah.
A dark gray one?
Yeah.
So it'll match?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. Why didn't we do that?
Because we were doing a review and we wanted to keep it simple to the actual
thing. Wanted to keep it accurate, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, anyway, but that aside, there's a lot of features. Now, the other thing that's really cool about this is you get a not really a full interior, but a Lego box inside. Not a Lego box, but you know what I mean. Yeah, an interior. Now, this interior is a little rough because it's got that tan, it's got that white, it's got that red. It's a little rough. The floor is a little rough, but it still is really good.
Canvas where you can do your modification painting on. So, are you thinking you could improve this?
Yes. Give me the 20 likes, and I will improve this.
What are you gonna do? Put in like a wet bar or maybe a bed or?
I don't even know what a wet bar is.
Or a big screen TV?
What is a wet bar?
Wet bar. That's where you get the alcohol.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, like beer and wine, schnapps. Wait, this is German.
No. This
Bud.
is.
I mean, it's American. That's what I meant.
All right. Anyway, but yes, you can do an interior, so that's really cool.
All right.
On the next part.
Oh, the next part. Are we done with features? We're on to playability.
Playability.
And fragileness.
It's fragile, but everything that's military, including like Brickmania, Omaha Bricks, Brick Veteran, all of them are a little bit fragile, but it's nothing like crazy in my opinion. It's pretty solid.
It's not made for heavy play. It's probably more for looking than playing. And I really enjoy looking at this baby.
Yes.
I'm just saying. So
that blue. Yikes.
You'll get over it.
I know. Because I'm going to fix it.
So,
playability. I think it's playable.
Oh, yeah. Every day of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You could recreate the liberation of Bastogne.
What did you just...
I said you could recreate the liberation of Bastogne.
I know, but you gave this, like, really look of, like, you could click that.
Well, I realized that...
Bastogne.
I realized that you were moving the camera. I love your squeaky chair, incidentally.
I know. We need to get it fixed.
We spare no expense.
We spent all our money on...
a can of WD-40 might help that.
We just need to get a better chair for out here, but... Alright, anyway.
I know where there's one. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I think it's an awesome tank. Again, the only thing that I don't like about it is the blue.
Which is a 1 penny fix.
Yeah, but it's still the attention to detail. I mean, Anyway, but
I think it's a special tank and a special build, and I really enjoyed building it. To use the word "build" like 23 times in the same sentence.
Yeah.
And yeah, good job.
Good job.
And I'm glad we spent the money, and I'm looking forward to the next build. Yeah. So. Like, comment, subscribe, share, notify, shout out.
Shout out.
Turn
on notifications.
Yeah.
Tell grandma about it.
Yeah, tell grandma. Grandma usually has lots of friends in her church group.
Yeah.
And
or senior citizen group.
The word, or both, and the word can get out. It'll spread like wildfire. And then you can retire at the ripe old age of 14.
Alright, we need to go. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Oh, wait, our sponsor.
HD Bricks. 5% off. Use code word Brickafit. Saves you 5% off.
What's the name of the place?
HD Bricks. I just said that.
So hdbricks.com, .net,
there'll be
see you later. A link.
There'll be a link in the description.
Okay. All right.
We'll see you guys.